Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie is all edumacated up as he's read through everything that's gone on.
I've tried to do a little research while we got going, and we just going to say, I think you said a little something earlier about praying.
You know, you're right.
So just give us a little prayer right now. It's what do you call it? Just asking for prayer. We won't say what.
Yeah, prayer leads us down so many different roads in life.
Yeah.
When you have a decision, there's one place to turn, and it is the big man. You need to include them. Every time I've ever done that without seeking advice from him, it usually backfires on me. Does that happen to you?
All the time. Every endeavor we do needs to have him right there with us.
Boy, and speaking of that, as we get ready for next week tonight, some things to get edumacated, as we joked around about that. That's one way of wording it. Tonight, the stump speech. Now, drag a lawn chair, come on down, and I'm understanding, Odie, get this, because you better get there early. They're going to be giving away some free catfish plates.
Oh, well,
some
I was
plates
already coming, but now I'll be there again.
Yeah, you got to be there early now, because it'll be, I think it's 100 that's going to be given away for the first 100 that line up to get that. Boy, good food. It's going to be there. You'll be able to learn. But again, drag your lawn chair. Dumont Plaza, where it will be. You could bring bleachers, but you'll be able to fit more people. Bringing lawn chairs is the reason behind that. Downtown Meridian is where it will be. I'll show up early to make sure we don't have any glitches in equipment. We're going to carry this live. If for some reason that you can't be there for the actual stump speech, we're going to set up a camera where you'll be able to watch it here on our channel. Everything that goes on live from down there.
But we'd rather you be there,
Yeah.
be with us in person, and that way you get that big of a feeling of what these candidates have to say.
And afterwards, as we all know, sometimes when you're up there, they can't speak to each individual, but once they're done, they'll come off stage and you can talk to them in person. That's one of the main things, eyeball to eyeball, being able to talk to a candidate that's going to be representing you. We want you to be a part of that. So downtown Meridian is going to be beautiful. The weather's perfect. The temperature will start going down. And today's heat index is only 103. So a little bit of a break instead of it being 107. Did we call 103 a break?
Right now we do.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Brenda, how in the world are you doing there?
What? Good morning. Clark County, there's our peeps again. We love us some Clark County.
Yes, sir, Bob.
You know, talked to Barry last night. I forgot to ask him how his new herd was doing.
Did he get the other two cows?
I'm not sure if he did or not. I need to find out. I know he was wanting to get some more in there Joe Biden, a.k.a. Harold, he's only got 2 cows to watch and a donkey. It likes to have a herd.
Let me ask this, because I've never had my own cattle before. What is it? Does a donkey protect the herd? Is that what it's there for, to keep animals away from the herd?
Dogs and coyotes.
Okay.
Donkey, man, they'll stomp a mud hole in them things.
Okay.
Oh, they hate them. Sure. They hate them. So, yeah, they just kind of, a lot of people use them mainly for goats. If you've got a big herd of goat, you can keep them around, and they kind of herd around the donkey, and the donkey kind of protects them.
I often think, whose idea was it on Gunsmoke to have poor old Festus ride a donkey instead of a horse?
I know it.
What was that about?
And I still get that, Festus! And I'll be like, hey! So half of them know me from Festus, and the other half know me Odie.
Oh, boy.
I'll answer to anything as long as it's not late for lunch or dinner.
I support that right there. Love me some food. Had a chance yesterday to get out. I ran into Debbie. She and I went to lunch, and I'll tell you, I ran into so many good people. We went to Western Sizzling yesterday, and a big thank you of the people that watch our show, that come up and spoke to us. Thank y'all so much. We can't do this without y'all, and y'all are some kind of good folks there.
Yeah. To put up with our shenanigans,
Did you hear me talking about that a moment ago in Illinois? The governor there passing a law to where you don't have to be a citizen to be a cop?
Wow. Y'all, you think not having enough police is dangerous? Wait till you have somebody that's not even from this country trying to pull you over and have you obey our country's laws.
It doesn't add up, does it?
Yeah. Roy, thank you. He said, Festus rode a mule, not a donkey.
Whoops. Whoops. I done said the wrong thing. Look, don't forget, this is the flyer for tonight as we pull this up, the stump speech. Yeah. Downtown Meridian, check that out. We will be there live there under hopefully they need to put a shade tree down there. You ever notice there's not enough there?
A few of them, yeah. But
they'll eventually.
Nice.
It sure will. We want you to be a part of it. As we begin today, we did have some gunfire mentioned last night. 34th Avenue is where we'll go with our first reports of gunshot. Now, no one hurt, but if you'll notice here, we're back in this same little area here. Here's Highland Baptist Church. This would be due east of there. This is happening in these areas here a lot. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but we want you to know where this stuff is happening. This would be west of Poplar Springs Drive. We've had it 2 or 3 nights in a row in that same area. So just a heads up of what's going on in there.
Just don't need to be out and about when you don't need to be out and about.
That's right. We do have breaking news this morning. And let's pull this up. Now, this happened last night. This would be in the county. We had a shooting of some sort. We don't have all the details. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department is investigating this. As we go to this at 11:40 last night, right at midnight, this would come about. Someone called in, said that they had been injured. They were attempting to drive themselves to the hospital. As deputies would arrive to the car, one would arrive at the home. I think there was some form of injury in the car, and then also the person at the home had been wounded by a gunshot. They're non-life-threatening, and again, both of them may not have a gunshot. One may have just been injured, but it was a struggle for a gun at some point. And from the best I can understand, the gun went off. We don't know how serious it was, but it was an injury involved with this. Barn Hill Road is where this went on. West Lauderdale area is where that is.
Drive down it every day.
Yeah, I do too. So no loss of life. That is the good news on that. But an interruption around midnight.
Wow. It's moving in the county.
Yeah, most definitely.
You hate to say you want to keep it in the city. We want it all the way out of Mississippi, but we need to keep our safe space out in the back. And there's problems out there. This isn't the only one, and it's not going to be the only one. But
as I watch the maps, there's areas where we could put up a police station in certain areas in the city and in the county to cut back on things.
Yeah, we just put up a camera.
Cameras are good, but they do not replace police officers.
Mate, not at all.
So always remember that. That'll be said to you several times there, but
yeah,
it does not take the place of a police officer. Another big thing, and we're going to talk. We'll go to commercials and come back and talk about this. A horrible accident last night. Bad. We'll talk about that next as we begin our Tuesday together.
Hello, I'm Billy Solly, and for almost 3 decades, I have served as your sheriff of Lauderdale County. I have chosen to retire, and it's time for you, the voters, to select my successor. On August 8th, I'm asking you to please go to the polls and vote for Ward Calhoun as your next sheriff.
Thank you for your endorsement, Sheriff Solly, and I'm asking for your vote humbly to serve as your next sheriff. Please vote Ward Calhoun on Tuesday, August 8th in Republican primaries.
Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. Garrett Outfitters on 8th Street is getting you ready for summertime. A large selection of cool hobo shirts. Maybe it's short sleeves. Maybe you need a pair of shorts. If you're going to be cutting grass or maybe riding a tractor this summer, you're going to need a straw hat to keep cool. And as you head to that favorite fishing hole, don't forget you'll need a pocket knife along with a great rod and reel. And if you earn your living in the woods, don't forget to check out their big selection of snake boots, Carhartt pants and shirts for any occasion. It's Garrett Outfitters, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. And we're back as we begin this Tuesday morning together. You're just kind of all peachy this morning there.
I kind of brightened it up a little bit. Wait till tonight. Come out tonight and see what I'm on.
I bet he's going to have a Hawaiian flowery shirt there.
It won't be quite that bad.
Won't be Magnum PI?
No, it won't be Magnum PI. Got a PSA real quick.
Okay, what do we got?
So anybody in the Bailey area on Sunshine Road, the address is 2528 Sunshine Road. So this is going to be a natural gas station that's over there. They're doing a lot of work to some pipes. If you see, they're redoing the pipes over on State Boulevard extension out to Highway 19. So they will be releasing pressure off of that line for a couple of hours starting at 9 o'clock this morning.
Right.
And if you live kind of close, it's going to be loud. No danger, no nothing, and maybe a little smell. There's nothing wrong. Everything's good, but they will be doing that release at 9 o'clock. Could take up to a couple of hours, but if you hear that around the 2528 Sunshine Road, everything's good. They're just doing some repairs.
Yeah, that is good to know. It's spooky when you don't know what's going on.
You got that right.
And I'm assuming, and this has nothing to do with anything that's happened, a lot of times I get a lot of reports of, what was that boom? Is that gotten to be tannerite? Is that kind of what goes on out there? Is people blowing up beaver dams with that stuff?
Some of that is. Some of it is people just shooting tannerite. And then some of it is also these propane cannons.
No, what's a propane cannon? I don't know about that.
So it's a cannon that goes onto a 5-gallon propane 20-pound tank, gas grill tank,
okay.
Propane. And whether you set it off by a timer or you set it off by motion,
explosion?
It's an explosion and it's loud. It's just kaboom.
Is it what's the purpose of it? To destroy the cannon?
To deter animals. If you've got a bunch of peas and beans and you've got a huge field and deer come in there and eat, they'll either every now and then these cannons will go off, or if they get triggered by movement, they'll go off. And it's to scare the deer and keep the deer out of your bean field.
We should put that up to deter criminals.
It'll work. You come in my yard, boom, you won't come back.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah. Yep. And then, rednecks around here, I mean, we're going to do crazy stuff. So I go stick that tannerite over there on that car door and let's see what it'll do.
I did watch some fellow on YouTube one time that took a propane tank and put it on a freezer in a pond and proceeded to use a rifle to strike that, and the freezer went by him, barely missed his head. Whoa. Should have thought that out there, buddy.
Yeah, you should have gotten a little bit farther away.
Yes, sir, Bob. 7:14 as we begin this day. And as we mentioned before going to commercial break, last night a horrible accident happened on I-20. As we go to take a look at this would happen at around mile marker 114. It could be between there and 113, 114, but the highway was shut down at mile marker 109 as a car was flipped.
Man.
Once emergency officials got on scene, Odie, the person there was not responsive. They were alive. A chopper was flown in to I-20. They shut down the interstate so the helicopter could land and pick up this person and fly them for medical care. We do not know how they're doing after that. I know this halted traffic for quite some time. A lot of prayers were going up, and a car was flipped is what happened. The person was trapped in it. Emergency officials had to cut the person out. I do know it was a male, and he was shipped to have medical attention. We do hope everything is fine. We don't know any more than that.
Definitely prayers go out for him and his family. And, I don't know if he's from here or where he's from, but, that it's tough when something like this happens and you're from out of town. and you don't know where you are, what's going on, and now you've got to get someone in touch with your family,
Right.
and what they're going through, and if they're having to travel, just prayers go out to them.
We done. How many folks we got watching from Neshoba County, Philadelphia?
There might be a sale on a Mini X.
we had a rump row yesterday in Philadelphia, Mississippi, as we go up to take a look at the 900 block of Pecan Avenue. Depending upon what side of the tracks you're from, is Pecan or Pecan Avenue. Y'all pronounce it however you want to. But it overturned. No injuries were reported of this. But if you'll notice the trailer there, look at that. The truck is on its side. It twisted and off she went. And I'm sure you've dealt with incidents like this a lot.
Yeah, and it's, you sit there and look going, okay, what happened? And you never really know unless you had a blowout on the trailer, cause that thing to start swaying.
All I know is someone today, somewhere, has this awful piece of equipment in their hand and is called post hole diggers, is they'll go back to replace that poor mailbox. There is nothing worse than post hole diggers. I don't like them.
No.
My hands just don't fit those things just right.
That's the only PhD I got.
Mailboxes. Then you got to go get you some Quikrete.
Oh. They got that newfangled stuff now that's liquid that it comes in a pouch that's
Tell
in
me
two
more.
parts. And you pop one pouch and you mix it up real good.
Yeah.
Cut the corner off and you pour it in there and it swells up and it's harder than concrete and it's,
Really?
Yeah.
No water mixing or any of that?
you got to do anything.
That's going to change deer hunting. We all know how that is, of putting them in
Yeah.
concrete in your post. That is, how long's that been out?
Yeah. A few years, couple of years for sure. Yeah.
Well, I learned a little something there. Didn't know that. Odie-isms.
You never know what you'll learn.
That's right. Let's go out to Enterprise, Mississippi. Any folks from Clark County watching this morning? We need you to be on. Have all your eyes open to look for this, because there's nothing absolutely worse than losing your pup. And we do have that situation going on here, as we have a puppy dog that is missing, and this is Nikki. You can't miss. She's got a unique color scheme going on there.
Yes, she does.
She's been missing a couple of days now, and they're worried sick about her. So,
And Nikki needs to come home.
well, last seen near County Road 360 in Enterprise area. If you see that, give them a call. They'd like to have it back. Finally, I'm getting rest. Finally, Odie.
You got 2.5 hours sleep last night.
I did. And I had to get Angie. She didn't want to get on the program with me. My wife, if anyone doesn't know it. My little dog, Ellie. Bless her little pea-picking heart. You ever have that friend that just isn't tall as everybody else? Ellie is that way. I got my big dog, Sophie, who just one paw can do anything. But poor Ellie, every night, she always wants to sleep with me. The problem is, Ellie is too short to make it to the bed.
You don't have a ladder?
Well, we worked on that. And somewhere during the night, it would be these, all you could hear or see was a toenail go down the edge of the bed. And then it would go back. And she couldn't get up there. And so then you would bend down to get her, and she would think you wanted to play and back up, and she would bark. And this would go on at 1 a.m. And I kept asking Angie, please buy my dog some steps. And she looked at me like I had lost my mind wanting to buy my dog some steps.
Since we're all up, go ahead and get on Amazon.
So she finally gave in and bought my dog Ellie some steps. And now Ellie is just home free. She can get in the bed. She roams around. I woke up this morning to candy all over the end of the bed, where she had found her some candy cigarettes and chewed them up. From Halloween. Last Halloween. I don't know where they come from.
But she knew where they were.
She did. Bless her little short self. She can now get in and out of the bed whatever she wants to. Did you even know they made those?
The doggy steps?
Yeah, the doggy step.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't.
They make doggy ramps.
Ramps?
Yeah, for your weenie dogs.
Where they can just kind of... Oh, yeah, I guess it would be harder.
Yeah.
Bill says he's got some for Minnie Pearl.
You know, if you was a weenie dog, it'd be like that 18-wheeler getting stuck out there on Highway 19 South. Your belly hit just right.
I did not think about that.
Yeah.
The weenie dogs, have got that. But if you haven't if you've got a little puppy dog that just can't make it up to the bed, try some steps. She is just happy as she can be now.
Yeah, St. Barbara said they got a ramp for pugs.
Well, I'll be. I am learning a little bit more.
Austin said their transmission would drag.
That's a good point. Terry says we have steps to our bed and couches for our little pups that can't get up on them.
Yeah.
Now, see, and if everybody knows, I lost my little best buddy in the whole wide world, JJ. It's going on 2 years ago. JJ was short too, but JJ was a determined little fellow there. Of nothing can stop me, and he'd get back up against the wall. But he'd take off running, and he'd make it, and he'd climb on. But I never bought him steps because he made it. But Ellie,
You made him work for it.
yeah, Ellie was like, I can't get up here. Help me. Tyson done give me a new haircut, and I ain't messing it up.
Yeah. Come on now, pick me up.
We'll be right back. We got so much more to talk about as we begin this day together. Y'all make us smile, and we do appreciate that. So many of you joining us each and every day, trusting us with your headlines of what's going on. We'll be right back with more.
Yeah.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Will Parker's your local lawyer located here in Meridian. If you've been hurt on the job, call Will. Let him explain your rights with workplace injury. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Will Parker, your local lawyer, 2110 Front Street, Meridian. Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn.
It's almost election time. Have you researched the candidates? My name is Michelle Griffith Joyner, and I'm asking for your vote for Lauderdale County Justice Court Judge District 1. With a bachelor's degree in criminology and more than 23 years of experience actually working in a criminal court, I'm qualified, experienced, and ready. My goals are to enforce personal responsibility and reduce recidivism. On August 8th, please vote for qualifications. Vote Michelle Griffith Joyner for Lauderdale County Justice Court Judge District 1. Learn more about me at joynerforjustice.com.
Y'all have no idea how hard it is to work with this man.
We're going to do a behind the scenes one day.
No, I don't think we can.
Well, it'll have to air later, like under a bloopers.
Yeah. What is a, Karina says she has a Chiweenie? What is a Chiweenie dog?
It's a little dog, isn't it? Little bit, not just a little dog, but a little bitty dog.
Like small, like a Chihuahua? Maybe smaller than a Chihuahua?
It's kind of like it's T-Whiny.
T-Whiny?
It's a Chihuahua.
Okay.
I guess, I don't know.
Oh. Bill, how are you there? We do hope you're doing good there. Bill, good fellow there.
Definitely, yes.
But he's getting ready for old Dolly coming up to Philadelphia. She'll make her way to the Marty Stewart's Congress. That's a big deal for us to have Dolly in our area.
Yeah, she wouldn't have ever been back down here or been here if it wasn't for him.
That's right.
You know.
So salute to Marty Stewart doing a lot for our community there as we begin this. Let's see here. I got a picture yesterday. I thought this is just way cool as the sun was going down. And it's just wrong for you not to share some things. Y'all look at this as we go out to Key Field. Look here. Ain't that beautiful?
That right there is, to me, I see the beauty in those pictures. It's just awesome with God's painting back there, God's creation, but that also reminds me of power.
It does. And I want to put right at the bottom, to Russia with love.
You got that right.
That does. It says a lot.
It does. And we're training the pilots to take the next step and get in your F-18s and be your fighter pilots. That's just power.
And then all this kind of ties together as we have a strong military. What does a strong military say? It keeps another country from doing something wrong. The same thing with a local police force. If you've got a strong police force that's big and strong, people don't commit crimes. It's the latest phase, Odie.
You know, It really is when you have authority figures that are everywhere. It kind of puts you in a different mindset where you've got to be on your P's and Q's and go along with society. And when you lose that type of authority, it's like kids playing around with no mom and daddy.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what we see right now is a bunch of kids around with no mama and daddy to direct them. And our military is the same way. We've got to build our military back up. We've got to make it to where we are strong, we are powerful.
Yes,
and
sir,
we
Bob.
are ready to defend ourselves. Didn't Trump, he said, I tell you what, he said, y'all don't want to do right. He says, I got something for you, and we're going to call it the Moab.
Yeah,
The mother of all bombs. Drop one, see what they do now.
yeah, he did.
Okay, never mind.
They never messed with him because they knew he would do it.
Yes.
It wasn't one of those things of here's a line. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up a little bit
Yeah.
more. Here's a new line. It wasn't that way with that presidency. It's so.
I told you what would happen, didn't I? Well, y'all look up.
It's
'cause
kind of like that teacher you had in school. You had some teachers that always threatened for you. And then there was that one teacher that would do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Miss Horn.
Hey, look, we got an answer on that. Chiweenie is a Chihuahua and Dachshund mix. I didn't think I'd ever say those three words together.
Boy, that's a little bitty long dog.
That's exactly what that is. Woo, doggy. Hey, we had a situation down in Clark County. We tried to get some answers on this, and we couldn't find out. But a lady got stuck on a logging road yesterday. And there was really no one who could go get her because no one had a four-wheel drive to go get her at that point in time.
I want to know what kind of car she was in.
Yeah, because, boy, it went on down in there.
It wa- and
That
how
is-
fast was you going?
You have to hit that hole quick. Robbie Limerick, where are you at? And eventually, they went to search for her, and she wasn't there. Turns out she somehow or another made it out and went back home and called authorities and said, I'm home. It's all okay.
She called 911, said, I need help. And then she called 911 and says, hey, just wanted to let y'all know that I'm at the house. I've already took a shower. I'm good now. And it's like, so we've got all our guys out in the woods looking for you, and you didn't feel that it was necessary to call and say, hey, I'm out?
I wanted pictures of Barry rolled up with his pants up to his ankles going to look at it. Anybody got photos of this? It has to be.
It's got to be. We'll find some.
Oh, have mercy. They had another little situation as we go to Clark County Hot Topics of a fire at a home. As we look at this, this was the situation there. Ended up all well. Just a little bit of damage on the carpet. All ended well on that. And there's not many times that you can say that if those guys show up and there's 50 people in your front yard with sirens, that it ends up good. This did.
Yeah, that's a good response, and they do a good job over there.
Yeah, absolutely. We're glad that all worked out. Hey, I wanted to bring up, if you were going to Squealers this week for lunch, they're taking a quick vacation.
Yeah.
Going to be out this week, giving all employees a little time off there as school starts to be with their kids to go back to school. So next Monday, they'll be back rolling. If you drive by, they haven't closed. They're not gone. They're just taking a brief shutdown there to get everybody recharged.
You know, I mean, that's stepping up for your employees and
Yeah.
saying, hey, I appreciate that. And that's just pretty good for them to do that. Look, family's fixing to get strained again. We've got school coming. Y'all go spend a little bit of time with them. And I think they're still working on, if you've got catering, they're still doing some of that. Just call down there and they can help
Right.
you with it. But that's pretty good.
All
Look,
right. What's that?
said Ashley said she was pulling a Carly Russell. You know, that's gonna be almost like, don't make me go postal on you.
Don't make me go Carly
I'll
on
be
you.
done Carly Russell on you.
It's a good point. That's where
Cameron Lee, happy birthday.
Oh,
I wonder if
boy.
he's got to work. Mississippi Highway Patrol.
I bet he does.
I bet he does.
I'm
Wait,
just-
let me see if I see him today.
I'm just doing my job on the highway patrol.
Taking care of y'all out there.
We'll be right back.
I'm Ricky Roberts, and I'm asking you to elect me Sheriff of Lauderdale County. August 8th is here, and your voice will be heard. Chris Reed will be Chief Deputy.
Reached a critical point in our community. We have experience and resources, and it's time for new leadership. I'm committed to making our community safer with Ricky Roberts. We will build a department you will have confidence in, but we need you. By working together, we can accomplish this.
On August 8th, vote for change we all deserve because our future is at stake. Vote Ricky Roberts, Sheriff.
Are you ready for summer? Massey has a 2021 Jeep Wrangler that's waiting on you with only 61,000 miles. How about a Rogue with 57,000 miles? A 23 Camry with only 50 miles on it. Or maybe it's a Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive that you're needing. From Silverados to F-250s, Massey Supermart Auto Sales, 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
I'm Devin Snowden, Republican candidate for District 1 Supervisor, Lauderdale County. I'm sixth generation Snowden to call this home. This is where I'm raising my family, where I work and serve the landowners of this area, and where we play. I want Lauderdale County to continue to call home. If elected, I'll do my best to make Lauderdale County its best. Please vote for me, Devin Snowden, on August 8th, and remember, I'm not just any candidate, I'm your neighbor.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Devin Snowden. Are you ready for summer? Massey has a 2021 Jeep Wrangler that's waiting on you with only 61,000 miles. How about a Rogue with 57,000 miles? A 23 Camry with only 50 miles on it. Or maybe it's a Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive that you're needing. From Silverados to F-250s, Massey Supermart Auto Sales, 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
I think that's a message you need to go to Massey's. They're just out of nowhere.
Now you got to buy 2 cars.
There you are. 7:32. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie as we join you each and every morning at 7 o'clock here. We do hope you'll make this a part of your day, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, however you join us. Maybe you can throw it up on your television. We like to have you a part of what we do. As we turn and always go to what happened in history today, this has to be probably the worst movie that I can remember. It was bad. There's just, you can't take a good idea. They made it bad. What was it?
Smoking the Bandit Part 2.
Was it 2 or 20?
2. They had 3, and I don't remember 3, but 2 is where they had that blooming elephant.
Yeah. The shark was the third one where they drove around with a shark on a car. Who would pay to, we all get it that you would pay to have Coors beer shipped east of the Mississippi.
Now that was believable.
Right.
That was good. And you're not going to.
But an elephant?
And then you're not going to have a trailer that housed mama elephant and baby elephant and it pulled by a Trans Am. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's why he said, I ain't making the third one.
Dom DeLuise, yeah, he got out of it. Dom DeLuise, if I'm pronouncing that right, was born on this day back in 1933, and he had something to do with the elephant in the show.
He was the doctor.
I actually quit watching it. I mean, it was that bad. And I'm Burt Reynolds Trans Am 110%, and I couldn't watch it. Where's Greg? He's a huge.
That's his number one show. And
could he watch it?
I don't know. We hadn't talked about it.
I mean, it's one of those things like having that you don't want to bring it up.
I think he's more attached to the Enos's than he was anybody else on that program.
Enos was the one on the motorcycle that missed it and said, is it sad
no,
to get, boy?
The Daddy Enos and...
you're talking about the Big Enos and Little Enos.
Big Enos and Little Enos.
I thought because there was Enos from the Dukes of Hazzard on the motorcycle that went in there. He said, boy, did you know it ain't sad to get? What you swimming?
Big Enos and Little Enos. That's what Greg was more intrigued at. It just he liked Burt Reynolds in the car too, but it's not near as bad.
But Enos was it. Which one does he dress up as Halloween?
Both of them.
Okay. Let's go back to, this was the 90s. I don't remember I think it was the 90s. Let's go back for this. Anybody remember Weekend at Bernie's? I didn't know this guy's name because he didn't say a whole lot in the thing. He just croaked.
I mean, he played a good dead person.
He did. Terry Kisser was born on this day, and he was the guy from, Bernie.
And that was a good movie.
It was. Funny. Yeah. 1944, this would begin on this day, and there's a few folks that remember it. As World War I began, that'd be World War II. I made a typo there.
Yep.
Wrong war there. 18 would back up to the early teens there.
Yeah, 13, I believe.
Yeah, and then it ended in 1918. But World War II began on this date. Typo there, and all those who lost loved ones in that war. We pass condolences because that is a serious, serious war there. As we go back, I think you pronounce this Tempest. Didn't they have a Ford named that? A Tempest? A Tempest?
Yeah, they did.
Or maybe it was a Buick. General Motors. General Motors. It was a Tempest.
Was it GM?
It was GM because they used it in My Cousin Vinny. Remember the positive traction thing? One was a Tempest and one was the Buick Skylark.
Was, yeah.
So
Might be dogs.
same wheel length that she pointed out on the stand.
Yeah.
But her name was, I believe you pronounce it Tempest. It was a great show.
Tempest Bledsoe.
That was a funny show.
Pontiac.
Yes, sir.
Bill, that was right.
Yeah, I was GM. I was right. I was on it. But anyway, that was a great show. Glad that she's having a birthday today. Born back in '73. There, Bill's got it going on. We're remembering that.
Yeah. Now, Cannonball Run. I loved it. You know,
I remember that.
Louise was in on it. My uncle, my cousin, I think he's like my fourth cousin, was in the Cannonball Run.
Explain what you're saying here.
He was on
like in the
Hee-Haw.
movie.
Yeah,
You had a cousin on Hee-Haw
too. Yeah.
Who was your cousin?
Goober.
So you're kidding, the Goober.
Yeah.
Or do you just have a cousin named Goober?
No, he's my cousin.
Goober was your
Lindsay was my
Really?
fourth cousin, I believe. Yep.
golly. Huh. No, that was Gomer.
That was Gomer.
That was Gomer. What was
Yeah.
what was Goober's big word that he used to do? Hey, Andy. Yeah. Andy. 1961, as we go to Texas, the very first one opened on this date, and at some point in your life, it would suck the money out of your wallet. What am I talking about? Six Flags.
Man, and they had a beautiful one down in Louisiana.
It
But-
belly up, didn't it?
Yeah, well, Katrina took that out. And
Sure
they just
did.
never rebuilt it. Never did think, oh, now this right here.
1979. What were you doing on this day?
I was watching Dynamite.
The very last episode of Good Times aired on this day, and this would be after James was gone, the dad, off of that show. Didn't they write it that he went to Mississippi for work? Am I not mistaken?
I can't remember.
It sure seems it.
I can't remember. We'll have to go back and pull that up.
But,
I like Good Time.
He was quite the actor at that time. JJ was. I even saw him doing some infomercial not long ago. You know, I never heard. I don't even know what become of her. Was her name Thelma or Thelma? Wasn't it? I don't know what she ever become of her after that. I never saw her in another movie.
No, I didn't either.
Even little Michael. They all just Esther role you saw in a few other roles, but
Yeah, and then James, what was his name?
oh, if you say it, I'll know it.
Golly.
Walker. Something Walker, something, isn't it? Isn't his last name Walker?
It might have been.
Think
He
it-
played in Coming to America with
And he worked at McDonald's.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah. He was one that owned the McDowell.
Oh, you're talking about the dad. Yes, it sure was. Yeah, James did. The McDowell.
They got the Big Mac, and we got the Big Mick.
Okay, Steve says they think they took the dad off on the show that he passed away. I'm like, J.J.
John
Walker.
Amos. That's it. Deanne had that for us. J.J. Walker. Yeah.
Yep, appreciate it. Yeah, that was his name there. Sometimes you just can't quite remember back that far. I was beating all around it. I just didn't have a pine limb.
But you know, look, we've got the best people in the world out there watching us, from Arkansas to Florida to every. You know, they take care of us.
Yeah, sure do. Mississippi Blues lady, how are you doing? Glad to see you there joining us. Nick Dowell's there. 1981, I didn't understand it, and they called them VJs. Oh, what are y'all talking about, VJs? What's a VJ?
are.
Yeah, and it ended up, MTV launched on this day back in 81. There would be teenagers that wouldn't do anything for the next 6 months, and they just stared at the TV.
You got that right. And you know, the guy who came up with the concept of MTV is from Brandon,
I did not know that.
Mississippi. Yeah.
How'd you know that?
There's some stuff up there in that noodle.
He's worrying me.
It wa- some of it's good, some of it's just filling in gaps.
As we stay on the year 1981, sometimes there's things that happen in life that influence you, and you later remember it and you write something huge out of it. And this would happen in 1981. Guy goes to New York City He's booked at a place and he can't stand it. It's near Broadway. And the stage is so small that you could literally, the bartender could hand you a drink on stage. It's that. And
Wow.
do you remember Gary Busey?
Yeah, yeah.
He invites Gary Busey to come be his guest. Now, they were all in there like this inside there, and he just felt out of place. Well, he goes back to Florida, where his house is at that time, and he sits down and he writes a song about it, of his experience of being in New York City. Now, it would make New York mad. They would ban the song. They wouldn't play it. Now, you got to remember, at that time, there were only 2 country radio stations in all of New York City. Nowadays, there is absolutely none. But they banned the song, wouldn't play it because he said he ran them down, referred to them as porcupines and a squirrel. Well, he did. Hank Williams Jr. took it to #1, as we all remember, stuck up here and got Dixie on My Mind.
But now, in New York, aren't they, don't they have a lot of supporters of Jimmy Rogers?
New York?
Yeah, didn't Brett go to New York and portray Jimmy Rogers because it was a big deal up there?
He went up there on a train to what's that, Garden Square?
Yeah.
He done that. But they ain't got no country radio stations, and they banned Hank from that. Of course, it was a great song. I loved it there.
Yeah.
I remember mowing grass at $10 a yard to save up enough money to buy that album in '81. Push lawnmower, y'all.
Yeah, I had one of them Yazoos with the big back wheels. They was hard to push.
I'd forgotten about this. Maybe
Golly.
Odie, I think his first date played this for her. Our endless life. Him and Diane. Did you have that cassette? I didn't.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Lionel Richie.
Didn't say I didn't like him. That's what the girls heard up in Odie's
Dancing
truck.
on the ceiling.
Also, a few years later, 1984, this would be the standard for videos of country video anywhere. I got ketchup on my blue jeans. I just burned my hand. Lord, it's hard to be a bachelor man. As Hank Williams Jr. would also film All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight. And it had everybody. It ended with the world famous of Hank Sr. Do you remember that scene at the end as that Cadillac comes by? Hank waves at him at the party.
Yes.
You had George Jones coming by on a riding lawnmower. He'd just been arrested. Of course, he couldn't drive. It won Video of the Year. He was the man that did that.
Oh, me, George Jones.
1987. You may have forgotten this, but the song went #1. You would remember it from Beverly Hills Cop. Bob Seger. Anybody remember this song called Shakedown? It went #1 in '87. I'd almost forgotten about that.
You know, the song's good, but Beverly Hills Cop, I liked it.
Yeah,
I
that
liked
was.
all of them.
What are y'all doing to this house? You need to go away. You got the wrong plans.
I said, you can't park that here. Park that where don't nobody else get to it. So all that damage happened last time I was here.
That's right. 1988, I remember me and Angie would get married a couple of years later, and they would be called Ditto Heads. I remember watching it on television. He began his radio career today, and then it would branch out to television, then it would go back to only radio because it was so big. Anybody remember this guy? It went national today as Rush Limbaugh took his show to the nation.
Changed AM radio completely from what it was.
He just had such a different appeal the way he talked about things to where you've got, don't get me wrong, I like Hannity, but Hannity sometimes yells and does.
Yeah.
Rush had this way of just describing a moment of this is what's going on, this is what's going to happen, and it made you a part of his conversation. And it's tougher than you think of talking to yourself all the time. Me and you do it every day.
We do it every day. You just kind of go with it. But he is an icon on this type of stuff.
Always had the IMB network. Wasn't that what it was called? Excellence of Broadcasting?
The EIB.
EIB.
Excellence in Broadcasting, behind the golden EIB microphone.
We couldn't find any golden ones.
I went to the Rush Rooms. I think that was at Gene's Restaurant when it was on Front Street. But you go in there and drink coffee and watch Rush's TV program.
Yeah.
And then I listen to him. Amy gets upset because you get in my truck now and I got talk radio on. And I've always done talk radio because I like to keep up with politics and what's going on. And she can't stand it. So we have to hit the button and get the satellite radio so she'll have something to listen to. But
breaking news in Meridian, Mississippi is we have a car that has drove through a building in the 600 block of 49th Avenue and has left the scene. Front row.
ooh. So 625 49th Avenue. So 49th Avenue is McDonald's right there off of 8th Street, in between them and Burger King. So 6th would be that big church is on. Man, that church is close to the 600 block. So if you're coming back to 8th Street from 5th Street, Evans will be on your right.
Yeah.
So what side of what?
It didn't say what side of the road it is.
What was the number?
625.
So it's on the left-hand side of the road, and I remember that's got to be a house. So it's got to be a house right there, and I believe that's a four-way stop.
Wow. We'll try to look that up here in just a little bit and get you some pictures of the scene of what's going on. I'm getting one of our reporters to head that away to pick up that.
If that's where I'm thinking. It's hard. You know, you start putting all these intersections together and trying to figure out where these roads are, where they intersect, and
Let's see.
trying to paste that picture for you, because I think that's what it is. And
Well, let's.
while you're trying to pick that up, my mother loved Rush when he was removed from TV. So she could listen. Look, my eye was scratching, and I can't even read this morning.
You are real close on this, Odie, where you were given directions. Let's pull this up where everybody can take a look here of where this has happened. Here's 49th Avenue. Here's Burger King. Here's McDonald's, as you were talking about. You would come. This is a red light there. This is going to be right here. Is going to be Trustmark Bank. Here's the Waffle House, and it's right.
It's that old bread store.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, the old thrift shop bread store. Ooh.
So we've got major damage there. We're trying to get someone out to the scene, and we'll have that to you here in just a few moments.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, we'll be right back as we continue breaking information, as it always happens here. We're one of the first to get you what happens out there.
That's right. Y'all just stick with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Nick Lisi, and I'm running for Justice Court Judge of District 1. My family is directly affected by the rampant crime in our community on a regular basis. Our businesses have been vandalized, robbed, and even shut down due to safety concerns from our customers and our employees. As a business owner, I'm often faced with making hard decisions. And if you look at Lauderdale County as a business, it's time for us to make those decisions before we go under. We need people in office who are invested in Lauderdale County. People who aren't in it for the paycheck or the retirement. People who want to work together to find the solutions to the problems that plague our county. On August 8th, remember, vote Republican, vote Nick Lisi.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
It's campaign season. Do yourself a favor and elect Reed Tree Service. Got a tree that scares you each time that it sways in the wind? Elect Reed Tree Service to remove that threat. Have storm winds knocked a tree down in your yard and you want it gone? Elect Reed Tree Service. Professional, experienced, insured. Call Mike 601-416-1233 and elect Reed Tree Service for all of your needs. Tell him Scotty Ray sent you.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District 81, August 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and this is Odie. And again, if you're just tuning in, we do have an accident that has happened in Meridian, just off of 8th Street, behind Waffle House, off of Highway 19, the old bread store. Cars driven into the building. Major damage is what we're hearing. We've got reporters headed in that direction. We'll have you some pictures to throw up here in just a moment to see what has happened there.
Oh, Roy said when he was a kid, he cut his grandmother's grass with a push mower.
Is that the
real push mower that didn't have a motor?
Those blades?
Yes. And then we had one. My dad had the mower like that. I can't remember what they're called, but anyway.
It's got a name.
You can get it, yeah. But now, and you can buy them, and they're not cheap. But if you have some sharp blades on there, I mean, that makes your grass look good. I enjoyed cutting with it, just not the whole yard.
Every now and then you would you'd see a scene of they were used as props there for antiques. You saw those in a lot of those antique stores.
Yep.
So that was one of the things there. We do have a man that has been sentenced in the state of Mississippi to life in prison for his role in the death of a deputy from Hancock County in Mississippi. That's not enough, not in my opinion. Should have been
well, it's kind of like the mother yesterday that got charged and was found guilty for her and her boyfriend to kill her kids. And she got life in prison. And she's going to stand up in court and say, well, I know for a fact that my kids are much happier now that they're in the presence of the Spirit of the Lord. You sent them up there. Well, of course, everybody's happier when you're with our Father and Savior God.
Boy.
But you sent them there before they had a chance to live.
That's just wrong.
You brought them in this world, and then for whatever reason, you went cuckoo and you killed them or had your boyfriend kill them. And I think both of you ought to die and go see the real judge up there.
That horrible as well we do that. Now, let me see here what we can do. We're going to try to do two things at once here for everybody that is watching. Let me type this out. You ever type something and try to talk and type exactly what you're saying?
Yeah, so you just type, because sometimes some stuff comes out when you're not talking. So, but yeah, there's some people.
And I know what you're referring to.
Dealt with the church, huh?
Yes, it did.
Oh, man. A lot of people are bringing back up tonight, 6:30 at Dumont Plaza. Come out and listen to the candidates as they go through why you should vote for them. It's going to be a good night. They're giving away fish plates to the first 100 people who show up. So come out there and get in line, get your free fish plate, your fried fish, and listen to the candidates, talk to them afterwards, get a better understanding, a good education to make a honest vote for who you think is going to be best to lead our county into the next direction. And for the ones who can't get out, Scotty Ray's going to be live. We're going to be there and make sure all this works out good, because Scotty Ray will moderate this tonight. So y'all come out and be a part of it. But
let's go live to the scene.
On scene.
Yes, sir, Bob. Here we go. This is the damage that we've got here. And again, this is the old bread store. Right directly in front of this is going to be Waffle House. This is the business next to it. Was it Day Old Bread? What do they call that?
Day Old Bread. I think it was like Flowers Bread Store or something like that. But that's what it was, Day Old Bread.
Now, we don't know why but the car, they ran through the building and backed up and have left the scene. 625 49th Avenue is where this is.
So if you see a brick laying on the hood and in the windshield of a car, that's probably them.
It could be the suspect in this. I think our detectives can figure this one out.
We want to just put them down the right path.
Yes, sir, Bob. How do these things happen? I don't know. Now, I've seen this in front of post offices a lot where people will get the brake and the gas confused and run through a building when they get ready to back up and think they're going backwards. And
yeah, but most of those are going to stay there.
Correct.
I made a mistake, or they've had a medical emergency.
Yes, sir.
And they've stayed there. Hey, oops, this is what I got insurance for. But you don't see many of them that said, oh, no, I got to go, and back them up and get out of there.
And mark my word on this, because I used to teach this class. If you are, for whatever reason in your life, are held with a stop sign that says slow, stop, never stand in front of a car because people will get the brake confused with the gas and run over you. Stand in the yellow line always, because people will flatten you.
I get that thing on a long pole over here.
Again, let's show that picture again if you're just tuning in. This is the scene on 49th Avenue at 625 is where this is. Meridian Police Department is on scene as we discover someone has driven through the building there this morning. What a mess we've got there in downtown. Hopefully we'll find out who done this and pass it along to everybody. Wow, oh, wow, oh, wow.
Yeah, and I hope they're all right. Hopefully they didn't have a medical emergency. We hope not.
And then you wake up and decide, I should go home.
Yeah. Oops. Now, Beverly said it was a Dolly Madison once, and you're exactly right. I do remember that being a Dolly Madison store.
Congress is officially launching a investigation into that sweetheart deal that Joe's little boy had. They're going, who put this together? Now, do I really think anything will become of them investigating it? No. No, but they will investigate it, and then somebody will take the evidence and get rid of that, and you'll never know what happened.
You know, old boy testified yesterday, and he said, well, yeah, Hunter would get Joe on the phone all the time while we were in these meetings. Now, they didn't talk business. All they talked about was weather. All right. So weather can be cloudy, can mean one thing, sunny can mean another one.
That's right.
Rainy can be something.
It's like if you get a call in the middle of the night and your wife's laying next to you and it says, "Is the coast clear?"
Yeah.
Has a double meaning. Has a double meaning.
It's storming outside.
Don't come over.
You know.
Scotty Ray and Odie will be right back, and we're going to tell you next how to tell if your dog likes you. They've actually done an experiment to tell you whether or not if your dog likes you.
Yeah.
We'll tell you the results next.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham.
Patrick Allen Companies services and repairs all brands of overhead doors, residential and commercial. Our service technicians are factory trained and have over 125 years of combined experiences. At Patrick Allen Companies, we are not interested in being the biggest, just the best. We are just 4 miles south of Meridian on Highway 145. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Now, why on earth they didn't just ask you and I, because we could have saved a bunch of money on this little survey they went out and done.
Yeah, we could have done the survey and got the money for it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, if you've ever got a question, feel free to send us a message. Dear Scotty Ray and Odie, we'll be able to do our very best to answer your question the best we can. We're going to do some of these live coming soon.
Yep.
But they've done a survey on how to tell if your dog likes you or not. I mean, come on. This is like, duh.
Does he growl and show his teeth?
That man,
he don't like you.
Number one, if your dog makes no eye contact with you after they've done the survey, they realize your dog doesn't like you. We've all seen that happen. Somebody comes in your house and they don't have nothing to do with your company.
Yeah.
They don't like them. The number one thing that they say the reason you can tell if your dog doesn't like you, your dog doesn't wag its tail. I mean, duh.
If somebody comes in your house and your dog goes, I don't like them, you might want to find out why. Because your dog, they've got them feelings.
You ain't kidding.
If your dog don't like somebody, there might be a reason.
I can walk out of the room 5 times in a row and come back and Sophie's standing there wagging that tail, going, woo, I'm glad you're back.
I'm telling you, and I've said this before, take your wife and your dog, lock them both in the trunk on a hot day for about an hour. Open the trunk and see which one's glad to see you.
It ain't going to be your wife.
It ain't going to be the wife.
10 minutes, she ain't going to like you.
She ain't going to like you when you throw her in the trunk.
We do hope you will join us again downtown Meridian this afternoon. 6:30 is when it all begins. To get there early, bring a lawn chair. It's going to be some food, a political speaking, bumping into some friends, and find out what your candidates, how they feel, what their speeches are going to be. Be there. And again, you can talk to them after they come off stage and ask questions. That's what it's all about. We'd love to see you. Meridian is where it will be tonight. And again, if you can't make it out, we're going to cover it live here on the Scotty Ray Report. Camera, microphones, whole 9 yards where you'll be able to hear it.
It's going to be going. It's going to be happening. Come down there. See us, talk to us.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you there. But other than that, we'll be back here in 23 hours waiting to wake up with y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. We love y'all. Stay safe.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.